I am sure that you will have heard of Kodak Colorplus if you've spent any time in the film photography world. This is one of the most world-renowned films in Kodak's range, famous around the globe, and rightly so. And today we're going to be spending a little bit of time understanding what it is about this film that makes it so famous and so popular, and what our community thinks is the best way to get the most out of this fantastic colour film. Quick one before we get started. If you like film photography and want to see more videos like this one, film reviews, tips and tricks, that kind of thing, then please do make sure you're subscribed to our channel and notifications are turned on. Thank you so much. This is going to be quite a simple review because Kodak Colorplus is quite a straightforward film, but don't let that fool you, it is also absolutely fantastic. It is best known for the fact that it gives a very 80s aesthetic, a colour palette and a final result that is incredibly reminiscent of all those summer holidays, the summer snaps from the 70s, from the 80s, from the early 90s even, and there's a very good reason for that. It springs from the same Kodak sub-brand as Kodak Gold, Kodacolor VR 200. But in the late 80s, and the details aren't immediately obvious on the internet, at some point in the late 80s, Kodak started to improve the technology and invest it into the gold section, and they branched off, whereas Colorplus remained as the budget option. It didn't get the latest technology advances, but also the cost didn't creep up. So when you shoot this film and it feels like an 80s throwback and it gives you that brilliant vibe, that's because frankly, it is. And it's this feature, shall we call it, that gives it the unique and different look to most of the other colour films. Part of that comes from Kodak's natural colour palette and the lovely reds, the lovely yellows that it will give most photos, but also it comes from the drawbacks of not having the latest and best technology put in it as soon as it came out. Now of course that isn't really a drawback, and we'll go into why. But it does give it a lot of the aesthetic and it gives it a lot of the personality that you'll see in your photos. So for example, edge details aren't particularly great. So you'll notice that lines aren't perfectly smooth, aren't absolutely sharp. You will notice that it tends towards warm. You will notice that you might get some colour shifts when it is underexposed or slightly overexposed. You will notice it doesn't cope very well with underexposure at all, and it can look quite flat. You'll notice the contrast isn't particularly strong. Saturation isn't as strong as something like gold. However, this is all that goes into making this film so brilliant and so well loved, because as you'll know by now, the Wonderbox project and learning about all these films, the goal isn't to find the perfect technical film. Frankly, we know that the more expensive, the more premium, the more modern emulsions will be technically better in that sense. But it's not about that, it's about finding the right film for the right occasion and understanding why, how you would shoot films in different situations and what the results will get in order to deliver the creative results that you are after. And you will know with this film, you will get a specific aesthetic, a specific vibe that is very 70s, very 80s feel, but is also incredibly fun and incredibly nostalgic. Having said that, and you'll see the photos from the community, none of this means that these photos are going to be bad. I would always err towards giving it a bit more light than a bit less because it really does pop in the sunlight. The colours do come out really well. Colorplus, remember. So I would always err towards giving it a little bit more light, and when you do, you will notice fantastic colours. You will notice brilliant capture of the environment around it. There is enough latitude that it's not going to be really blocky in contrasty light, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Now I would always recommend this film as one to have in your camera when you're walking about your daily life. Now I'm not going to be too optimistic and say summer trips abroad just yet, but in terms of outdoor barbecues, in terms of lovely summer walks, maybe even commuting to or from work or going for one of your daily walks and exercises around, this is a brilliant film to have in your camera, whether that is a high-end Leica, whether that is a point and shoot, whether that is one of the simple reusable plastic cameras. This is going to give you brilliant results and you won't have to think about it too much either. ISO 200, so most situations in the British summer outside will be absolutely fine. You can pop the flash on. Again, don't expect particularly sophisticated results, but pop the flash on, shoot it indoors, and again, you will have those photos that immediately transport you back 20, 30 years without a problem. It's a really, really lovely film to document your life, and that's what I will be doing with it. For Wonderbox shooters, please let me know what you think. Now, of course, the other elephant in the room with Colorplus is that it has been very difficult to get hold of in the last couple of years, as Kodak have moved their production. They've invested heavily in machinery, they've invested heavily in logistics. We will see the benefit of that in the coming months and years, but it has meant that Colorplus has been pretty hard to get hold of. So enjoy it. If you have had the chance to shoot it before, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you're going to shoot with it again in the future. If you haven't shot with it before, then congratulations, here you go. One of the world's best known colour films is in your hands, and you have a chance now to really experiment and have a lot of fun with it. I will leave you with some wonderful inspiration from the community. There are so many brilliant photos. We're going to close with all of those there. Thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know what you think. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you on the next film review. Thank you.